Good morning. My name is Wiwin Zakiah. Today I'm pleased to present our research entitled Total Economic Value and Livelihood Sustainability of Indigenous Communities in Central Kalimantan Palm Oil Concession. Context and background. To set the context for the past 2 decades, industrial oil palm expansion in Central Kalimantan has strongly boosts provincial gross regional domestic product and formalized rural employment. However, converting highly diverse wetlands into monocultural matrix and alter socio-ecological balance. In response to international certification standards such as RSPON and ASPO, companies have set aside high conservation value areas inside concessions. These enclaves act as critical ecological strongholds, providing essential ecosystem services to local Dayak groups. Socio-ecological framework metric. Our analytical framework integrates three key pillars. First, environmental economics through total economic value to model direct and indirect use values. Second, the sustainable livelihoods approach to evaluate household capital assets. And third, agrarian governance examining the structural tension between unrecognized ancestral territories and state allocated corporate cultivation titles. Research hypotheses. We address three central hypotheses. Hypothesis 1, non-market ecosystem services in high CV areas serves as vital economic safety nets during agricultural price drop. Hypothesis 2, indirect use value from hydrological regulation exceeds the direct use value or physical resource extraction. Hypothesis 3, institutional ambiguity regarding access rights inside corporate borders limits the conversion of natural capital into financial security. Methodology and evaluation formula. We adopt a mixed method sequential design. Primary file data was collected in Central Kalimantan from late 2025 through mid-2026. Qualitative data was gathered via a household survey on N120 customary households. Qualitative triangulation was achieved through 15 in-depth informant interview with the Mantir Adat Corporate Sustainability Manager NDLH alongside 4 focus group discussions. Empirical DEF findings. Here are our empirical evaluation results for the high CP ecosystem services. Direct use value from non-timber forest product totals 450 million rupiah, averaging ADR 3,750,000 rupiah. Indirect use value from clean water provision and flood mitigation equals 780 million rupiah or IDR 6,500,000 rupiah. The year's cumulative total economic value of 1,230 million rupiah, representing an average invisible environmental subsidy 10,250,000 rupiah across the 120 surveyed households. Looking at the proportional breakdown, indirect use value clearly dominates at 63.4%, while direct use value account for 36.6%. This absolute dominance of indirect use value validates a hypothesis to hydrological security function as a hidden ecological subsidy. If this natural regulation collapses, substitute water costs will trigger severe local poverty. Natural capital as a shock buffer. Empirical funding highlights high CV areas as economic buffer against commodity market shocks. When global palm oil or lumber prices fall and reduce agricultural wages by 10%, local customary household forest extraction inside high CV enclave increased by 14.3%. This dynamic labor substitution confirms hypothesis 1. High CV areas function as vital safety nets protecting household consumption when cross-crop incomes decline. Institutional asymmetries limits, however, institutional structural barriers persist, validating hypothesis 3. Under institutional laws that granted HGU plantation title consistently override unmapped customary claims, marginalizing local Kedamangan Dayak Council. Furthermore, corporate conservation enforcement under RSPO often penalize traditional substance harvesting, disconnecting negative communities from their natural assets. Socio-ecological friction points. We identify 3 main socio-ecological friction points. Dayak household lack permanent legal title inside corporate borders. Aggressive carbon shock protection restricts subsistence gathering or flora and local timber. Corporation gains global green certification and carbon credits while local communities bear opportunity costs without equitable compensation. Policy direction and solution. In conclusion, we propose 3 actionable policy recommendations. Establish legally binding co-management agreement between HGU concession holder and customary Kedamangan Dayak leadership. Shift CSR spending from some charity to funding customary-led forest works and conversion stewardship. Integrate non-market ecosystem valuation into provincial spatial development plans. Thank you very much for your time and attention. Welcome and question, feedback, and or discussion from the floor. Thank you.